Hi guys, this is called An Anteater Named Arthur by Bernard Weber. Let me tell you about Arthur. First, I will tell you what Arthur is like most of the time. Most of the time, Arthur is a kind, helpful, understanding, well-behaved, sensible, orderly, responsible, loving, lovable, altogether wonderful son. But sometimes Arthur is a problem. Not all of the time, mind you, just sometimes. I will explain. Sometimes Arthur doesn't understand. I don't understand, says Arthur. What don't you understand? I asked. We're called anteaters, right? Right, I answered. Why must we be called by what we eat? Because it happens to be what we are, I tell him. A cat eats fish, right? Arthur asks. Right, I answer. And a bird eats worms, right? Right. And a cow eats grass, right? Right, I answer again. But the cat is not called a fish eater, and the bird is not called a worm eater, and the cow is not called a grass eater, right? Arthur asked. Right, I answered. Then I shall be called by another name. What would you like to be called? I asked. I shall be called a lion. But you are not a lion, I tell him. Then I shall be called a swale. You are not a swale. Then I shall be called a melephant. But you are not a melephant. Then I shall be called a brabbit. But you are not a brabbit. What shall I be called? Arthur asked. You shall be called an anteater, I tell him. An anteater named Arthur. Sometimes Arthur has nothing to do. I have nothing to do, says Arthur. Why don't you call on a friend, I suggest. Who? Arthur asks. How about William? William is not my friend. How about Thomas? Thomas is not feeling well. How about Patrick? Patrick is being punished. How about Bertram? Bertram is having company. How about Maria? Who? Maria. Maria is a girl. So I don't play with girls. Maria can throw a ball, I mentioned, but she throws like a girl. Why don't you read a book? I have read all my books. How about playing records? The record player is broken. You can work with your microscope. I did that already this morning. Well, I said, I have one more suggestion. Since you have nothing to do, you have much to do. You can spend the day helping me. Doing what? Arthur asks. Well, there are things to be carried up to the attic. The shelves in the pantry need straightening, and the garden could be weeded, and Arthur puts on his hat and his jacket. Where are you going? I ask. I think I will go and see what Maria is doing, he answered. Sometimes Arthur's room is more than I can believe. Arthur, I exclaimed, your room is more than I can believe. Arthur looks around his room. I don't see anything, he says. You don't see anything, I reply. You don't see that the cover is on the floor and your pillow is on the bureau and your pajamas are under the bed and your best tie is hanging from the light fixture and there are bits of paper scattered everywhere. I was playing, says Arthur. I was playing magician. Are you a magician? I ask. Yes, says Arthur. Are you a good magician? Yes, I am a very good magician. Can you make things appear and disappear? Yes, I can make things appear and disappear. Very well, I say. How would you like to perform a magic trick for your mother? I would like that, Arthur says. What kind of trick? I explain the trick. I will leave the room, I will close the door, and later when I open it again, I want to see it by magic that you have made some things appear where they should be and some things disappear where they shouldn't be. All right? All right, Arthur answers. Ready? Ready, says Arthur. Get set. Set, says Arthur. Go. I close Arthur's door. Later, I open his door. Look, says Arthur. The magic trick has worked. You are a very good magician, I tell him, and that was a very good trick. Sometimes Arthur is choosy. Breakfast. Breakfast is ready, I call to Arthur. Arthur comes down. What are we having? He asks. We are having ants, I answer. What kind of ants? The red ones, I tell him. I pretend not to notice that he made a face. Look at them, I say in the cheeriest voice. Aren't these the most wonderful, beautiful ants you've ever seen in all your life? I gathered them specially for you. Arthur looked and makes another face. Arthur, I go on, red ants are delicious. And so good for you, too. Don't you want to grow up to be big and strong? As big and as strong as your father? Have you watched your father eat red ants? More faces from Arthur. I have an idea, I say. How about if I sprinkle sugar on them? Red ants are simply delightful with sugar. And Arthur shakes his head. A twist of lemon, perhaps. More head shaking from Arthur. Arthur, red ants aren't exactly easy to come by, I reminded him. You have to scratch mighty deep for red ants. Arthur began playing with his spoon. You ought to at least try one, I continued. You will never know if you like something unless you give it a try. Here, how about this one? Says Arthur, turning his head away. Very well, I exclaimed at last. Never mind about the red ants. Never mind that you are missing out on the world's tastiest, most delicious, most scrumptious dish. What will you eat instead? Brown ants, Arthur said. Sometimes Arthur forgets. Goodbye, says Arthur, rushing off to school. Goodbye, I say, and I close the door. The door opens. What did you forget? I ask. I forgot my spelling book, he answers. Up he runs, 2 steps at a time. Down he comes with his spelling book. Goodbye, says Arthur. Goodbye, I say, and the door closes. The door opens. What did you forget? I ask. I forgot my sneakers, he answers. Up he runs, 2 steps at a time, and down he comes with his sneakers. Goodbye, says Arthur. Goodbye, I say, and the door closes. The door opens. What did you forget? I asked. I forgot my pencil case, he answered. Up he runs, 2 steps at a time. Down he comes with his pencil case. Arthur, I say to him, you will have to try to remember not to forget. Now stop and think. Do you have everything you need? Yes, Arthur answers. You are absolutely, positively, without a shade of doubt, 100% sure now? Yes, I'm absolutely, positively, without a shade of doubt, 100% sure, he answers. Goodbye then. Goodbye, Arthur says, and the door closes. I wait to see if the door opens again. I am not disappointed. The door opens. What did you forget? I ask. I forgot to kiss you goodbye, he answers. Goodbye, says Arthur. Goodbye, I say, and the door closes. See what I mean about Arthur? Thank you. That was an anteater named Arthur.